Hello, future criminologists. So today we will conduct a continuation of our discussion on criminological research. And today we will tackle on the classification of research according to the type of analysis. So kung mingon tag type of analysis, this is how we analyze or study the information that we have gathered. Do we study it by using numbers, which is quantitative, or words and meanings, which is qualitative? Now, under this topic, we have the descriptive research. So, as what I have said, Canning descriptive research, it aims to describe or explain a certain situation. So your aim or goal when you conduct a descriptive research is to give a clear picture of certain phenomenons or kaning mga events or happenings nga nahitabo sa ato ang society or sa ato ang komunidad. So it gives a clear picture of what exists without changing anything. Now, since it just aims to explain certain things or certain topics, it just focuses on numbers, such as using statistics, counts, percentages to describe certain patterns. So let's say, for example, you want to know the cases or you want to describe and explain the theft cases within Cebu City. So you use numbers to show a clear picture about theft cases in Cebu City. And then in your study, you found out that there were 500 theft cases in Cebu City in 2025. So again, as when we say descriptive research, this focuses more on describing a certain situation by using numbers to show or give a clear picture of what is happening in our society as of the moment. So we don't aim to change something, but we aim to give a clear picture. Okay, hopefully that is understandable. And also, just a disclaimer, everyone, kaning example nga ko ang state diri that is just for the sake of explanation. This is not based on real life cases. Moving forward, we also have analytical research. So, as per definition, it breaks down a situation into parts or components to study relationships. So, from the word analytical, it means to analyze certain situations. And since we aim to analyze certain situations, we often use words to describe or provide explanations, causes, relationships between variants to show the connection between these variants. So let's say, for example, you want to know kung unsa ang reason ngano ang youth crime taas kaayo within your city. So you study the causes behind it. Is it poverty? Is it unemployment? Or is it peer pressure? So to put it simply, no, so when we say descriptive research, it aims to describe what is happening through the use of numbers, statistical tools. And when we say analytical, or analytical research, it aims to describe why is it happening. So it focuses on the causes of certain phenomena or certain topics. So it uses words to explain the ideas that you want to study on. To provide a clear distinction between descriptive research and analytical research, let's look at the questions under these two types of research. So, in descriptive research, it asks the questions: how many disabled people face social isolation? What is the unemployment rate for disabled people? How many siblings of people with Down syndrome have positive experiences? So as you can see, sa descriptive research, it often asks numbers or it often asks kung pila ka buok ang tao ang maapektuhan sa usa ka butang or pila ang rate sa usa ka butang. So therefore, again, to put it simply, ang descriptive research, it aims to describe something by showing numbers or showing a clear picture through numbers, through analysis, or through the presentation of numbers sa imuhang findings. Now, in analytical research, under analytical research, we ask the questions: what causes social isolation in disabled people? Why do disabled people have a harder time finding work? And why do so many siblings of people with Down syndrome have positive experiences? So, as you can see, sa analytical research, it often asks the questions what and why. And when you ask this type of question, it requires explanation through words. So therefore, sa analytical research di ay kinahanglan ta mo provide sa ato ang answers by sharing our ideas or by sharing our analysis through words by explaining something or explaining a certain phenomenon or event or happening through words. Hopefully that is understandable and hopefully that is clear. We will now dive into the classification of research according to choice of answers to problems. So kani nga klase sa research is imong gipangutana kung imuhang study ba nga gi-conduct has one correct answer or a fixed solution, or or does it have many possible answers, which means it has an open-ended solution. Now, to dive more into this topic, when we say if it has one correct answer, it means that it only has one correct solution. So let's say for example, unsa may epekto sa ato ang bag-o nga balaod sa paglower sa atong crime rates. So you will only have one solution. So your answer will be measurable and specific. Now, if your answer is open-ended, it may have or provide many possible solutions or approaches. Let's say for example, imong study will ask what is the best way to reduce crime, unsa man ang pinakamaayo nga pamaagi para malasen nato ang krimen diri sa atong komunidad. It could be education, patrols, community programs, and many more. So para mas dali sabton no, ang fixed it has one right answer. Ang open-ended it focus on brainstorming. It has many good answers. Now, to dive more into this topic, we have the evaluation research. So in the evaluation research, all possible course of action are specified and identified, and the researcher tries to find the most advantageous. So kung maingon di ay taog evaluation research, kaning klase nga research is ato siyang let's say, ato ang gi-judge kung unsa ka maayo ang pag-implement nato sa usa ka policy, usa ka programa, or usa ka butang. So ang imong goal when you conduct the evaluation research is to look at different options and imuhang tan-aw kung unsa man nga option diha ang pinaka maayo o pinaka effective. So let's say for example, you want to study on the anti-drug campaign and you want to see if this campaign is really effective in reducing drug use, or maybe there are other alternatives to reduce drug use. Okay. Now, moving forward, we also have the developmental research. The focus is on finding or developing a more suitable instrument or process that has been available. So this creates new tools or methods. So we design a better solution or provide a better solution to certain problems. So to put it simply, kaning developmental research, it is a type of research nga kung asa pwede ta maka-create of new tools, designs, or methods to make things work better or para mas mapadali ang ato ang trabaho. After all, the goal of research is to make our lives better and to make our lives easier. So therefore, when we conduct the developmental research, our goal is to improve what already exists or invent something that is more useful. Let's say, for example, you have studied that ang kaning pag-report di ay sa mga krimen diri sa atong komunidad is very hard for people, especially those living in remote areas. So what you did is you designed an online system para mas mapadali ang pag-report sa usa ka krimen. So just to put it simply no, ang kaning ato ang gitawag nga evaluation research, it focuses on what is the best approach to solve a certain problem. And ang kaning developmental research, it focuses on inventing or creating new tools or methods to make our lives better. Okay, hopefully, inyuhan ang nasabtan dihang dapita. Forward, we will now tackle on the classification of research according to statistical contents. So diri nga part imong gipangutana kung imong research ba magamit pa na og numbers or statistics or words to explain or describe a certain phenomenon. So it can be either quantitative or statistical research, or it can be qualitative research, okay? Now, let's focus first on the quantitative research. So, kaning quantitative research is one in which inferential statistics are utilized to determine the results of the study. So, inferential statistics uses correlation, chi-square, and ANOVA or analysis of variance to test the hypothesis. So to put it simply, sa quantitative or statistical research, magamit ta ta og math or numbers para matest out nato ang ideas and to prove that the patterns that we have observed are true. And also, to put it simpler, ang kaning quantitative research, it uses numbers and math tools like correlation, again, chi-square or ANOVA. So, ato ang itas ang hypothesis kung ang ato abang patterns nga na-observe kay tinuod ba na, and the purpose is to generalize findings and make predictions based on our observation. So let's say for example, atong studihan if ang poverty o crime rates ba mag-rise ba na siya together using correlation. So when we say correlation, mo siyang paggamit og numbers, pagtan-aw nimo kung daghan ba og kung mas daghan ba og pobre, mas mutaas ba ang crime rate, or kung if mo lessen ba ang poverty, mo gamay ba ang crime rate, and so on. Now, moving forward, we have the different, let's say, quantitative or not quantitative. We have the different key tools in quantitative or statistical research. Okay. So here I have mentioned inferential statistics. So when we say inferential statistics, this is a branch of statistics that uses analytical tools to make inferences, draw conclusions, and make predictions about an entire population based on data collected from a representative sample. So kung mingon day tag inferential statistics, magamit ta og analytical tools like correlation, chi-square, or analysis of variance para makahimo ta og conclusion base sa atong observation, and from that conclusion we can make prediction about a certain population or an entire population. Let's say for example, ang imuhang study is sa imuhang classroom lang, kung kanibang mga estudyante nga magsigig duwa og Mobile Legends, mo gamay ba na ilahang grado, or kanibang mga estudyante nga og kung dili sila magduwa og Mobile Legends, mo taas ba ang ilahang grado. So mag-collect ka og data from them, and then you use analytical tools to draw conclusions and make predictions about what will happen in the near future. So here, there are different types of analytical tools. We have the correlation, the chi-square, and the analysis of variance. So when we say correlation, so or the correlation analysis in criminology, this measures the strength and direction of a relationship between two continuous variables, such as unemployment rates and property crime rates. So imuhang tan-aon kung ang duha ba ka variables or duha ka butang, are they related? So let's say for example, imuhang tan-aon kung mas taas ba ang rate sa unemployment, mas mutaas pud ba ang crime rate sa usa ka lugar? Okay, so when we say correlation, we look through things or two things and see if those two things move together. Okay. Now, moving forward, we also have the chi-square test. So the chi-square test is used to determine if there is a statistically significant association between two or more categorical variables. So it is often visualized using a contingency table or a bar chart comparing observed versus expected frequencies. So this compares groups to see if differences are real or just by chance. So sa chi-square DI, ato ang tan-aon ang kalahian between two groups, or let's say different topics, and see if they are real or significant. So let's say for example, ang kanibang mas mga lalaki or ang mga babae kay mas taas ba ang ilahang crime commission compared sa kaning mga members sa LGBTQ community, or is it just by chance? And when you use the chi-square test, you often show your numbers or your observation through a statistical table, or kaning naa sa picture nga ako ang gipakita. Okay? Now, let's move forward to the analysis of variance, also known as the ANOVA method. So this is used when you want to compare the means of a continuous variable across three or more independent groups or categories. So the results are often visualized using box plots or bar graphs showing the means and variance within and between groups. So this compares averages across several groups. So Kani ding analysis of variance ato ang i-compare ang average sa daghan nga mga grupo. So let's say for example, ang crime rates ba sa tulo kalain-lain nga syudad kay lahi-lahi ba na sila from each other? Or let's say ang crime rates ba sa tulo ka syudad is pareho ba sila in each other? So what you aim to do when you use the analysis of variance is imuhang tan-aw kung asa ang ilahang kalahian or asa ang ilahang kapareho by looking at the average number of these three variants or these three variables. So to put it simply, sa correlation, imuhang obserbaran ang duha ka butang and see if these two things move together. If kani akong buhaton, makaapekto ba siya sa usa ka butang? Ang chi-square test, it tests if three or more things affects each other or is it just by chance? And in analysis of variance, ang imuhang gipangita is ang ilahang means or unsa ang average nga number sa tulo or more ka mga butang. Moving forward, we have qualitative research. So this involves collecting and analyzing non-numerical data such as text, video, audio, and many other things so that we can understand concepts, opinions, or experiences. We use the qualitative research to gather in-depth insights into a problem or generate new ideas for research. So to put it simply, ang kaning qualitative research mo ang klase sa research nga kung asa dili ta mag-use og numbers to present our study. Instead, we use words to better explain something by sharing the stories of others, by sharing their experiences, and in qualitative research, we conduct interviews, focus group discussion, we conduct observation para ato ang ma-express or ma-share ang ato ang observation. So to put it simply, again, ang kaning quantitative research mo ni ang klase sa research nga kung asa magamit ta og numbers to present our findings, and ang qualitative research is we use non-numerical data. So ato ang i-present ang atong findings by sharing stories and experiences that we have gathered from other people. Research, we use words, stories, and observation to explain how the world works or how people see the world. So therefore, we use different research methods when we conduct a qualitative research. So we have interviews, focus group discussion, observation, case studies, and document or text analysis. Now, to dive deeper into these methods, when we say interview, so this is a primary method for gathering rich, in-depth, and subjective data from individuals. So from the word interview, we will have a one-on-one discussion or conversation with our subject. So let's say, for example, ang imuhang subjects are victims of crime. So what you want to do or what you will do is to conduct an interview by asking victims how crime affected their daily life. Moving forward, we also have the focus group discussion. So here, as per definition, focus groups leverage group dynamics to generate data. The interaction among participants often elicits richer and more spontaneous information than individual interviews, as participants build upon each other's comments and ideas. So unlike sa interview, ang interview is only one-on-one. Ang kaning focus group is ikaw ang facilitator or you will just observe the discussion but daghan ang members sa discussion or sa conversation. So let's say for example, you want to know more about why teenagers join gangs. So in focus group discussion, magporma ka og usa ka grupo nga puros teenagers unya ilahang i-share ang ilahang ideas, opinion about why teenagers join gangs. Okay? And also, ang kaning focus group discussion, it is somewhat very kaning advantageous for you if you want to gain more insights from your subjects. Nga naman, let's say for example, naa ka sa usa ka grupo and each individual will share their own opinion, and from their own opinions, maybe naapoy lain nga mo generate silang own opinions, or let's say naiuban nga mo kontra sa opinion sa lain. So therefore, you will gain more insight in focus group discussion than in the individual interview. Next, we also have the observation. So, observation involves researchers immersing themselves in natural settings to directly witness behaviors and interactions. This method helps to understand context and actions as they naturally occur, minimizing the artificiality of a lab or interview setting. So observation, instead of, let's say, listening to others about their experiences, sa observation, ikaw mismo ang mo experience sa imong gusto nga makatunan. So let's say, for example, gusto ka makibaw kung giunsa pag-interact sa kaning mga police officers sa mga civilians during their community patrols. Instead of conducting an interview or a one-on-one interview or a focus group discussion with police officers, ang imong gibuhat is nikuyog kanila and you join them during their community patrols. So, to put it simply, ang kaning observation is simply to immerse yourself or to be a part of something so that you will have the one-on-one experience, or you will have a personal experience of the study or field that you want to learn more about. Next, we also have the case studies. So, case studies are a comprehensive and in depth examination of a single entity. It can be a person, a group, a community, an event, or an organization. They are particularly useful for explaining complex causal links and understanding how and why something happened. However, kaning case study, it is more on long term. Nga naman kay imuhamang aside from observing, conducting an interview, ang imong buhaton is you need to study only one person, only one group, one community, or one event, or one organization. And it can be a long-term type of research. Kay imong obserbaran ang ilahang, let's say, behavior, ang ilahang practices from the beginning up to the present time. So let's say, for example, you want to learn more about the life story of a former gang member. So instead of just conducting an interview, imuhang tan-aon ang iyahang family history, ang iyahang personal history, iyang family background, ang iyang reason nganong ni join siya sa usa ka gang, and iyang reason nganong ni leave siya sa usa ka gang. So it is really a long process because instead of just focusing on one happening, imuhang i-dig deeper into the history sa usa ka individual or sa usa ka entity nga imuhang gistudihan. So if you're going to study a group, it can be a group of teenagers, a group of students. So you will study these group of students, let's say from first year to fourth year. So moving forward, we also have the document or text analysis. This method is also known as content analysis or secondary data analysis. This involves the systematic examination of existing qualitative data sources to identify patterns, themes, or biases. So sa document or text analysis, dili ka mag-interview og usa ka tawo, dili ka mo immerse sa imong kagalingon sa usa ka situation, di pod ka mo conduct og focus group discussion. From the word itself, document or text analysis, ang imong buhaton is you will read sa mga documents or kaning mga articles or even kaning mga manuscripts or even kaning mga, let's say, researches nga na-publish na sa uban, and imuha nang gamiton ang ilahang mga na-publish nga works to gather your data and to identify patterns, themes, or biases na bay mga butang or katuuhan or ilang gituuhan before nga dili na siya prevalent sa ato ang panahon karon. So let's say, for example, you want to learn the crime trends sa kaning mga panahon pa ni not Jose Rizal, sa panahon sa atong mga lolo or lola or sa atong mama or papa. So instead of conducting an interview with your mom or dad or with your grandparents, ang imong gibuhat is imong gi-analyze ang newspaper articles to understand the crime trends during that time. So to put it simply, kaning interview, focus group discussion, observation, case study, and document or text analysis. These are the different research methods nga imuhang gamiton when you conduct a qualitative type of research. So ang kaning interview, it means to talk directly to people to hear their experiences. So mo ni siya ang one-on-one discussion sa imuhang usa ka subject. Ang kaning focus group, adto ka magkig istorya sa usa ka grupo sa imuhang subjects that have the same experiences so that they will share more insights, and it is more advantageous than interviews because they will they will have different interactions, or maybe through the group interaction makashare pod sila og lain nga ideas. Ang observation, you immerse yourself into the situation. So you watch people in real settings to see how they behave. So instead of conducting an interview, ikaw mismo ang mutanaw og moobserba kung unsa ang panghitabo or unsa ang gibuhat sa usa ka tawo during their work. And ang case study, it is a study that is focused only in on one entity. It can be one person, one group, it can be one community or one, let's say, section. Okay? And ang imuhang buhaton is you dive deep into that person's background, into that person's history, their reasons, the causes as to why they left a certain gang, the reason nga nung ni-join sila ana, and so on. And ang kanin document or text analysis, ang imong buhaton is to examine written materials, speeches, or media. So these are the different research methods. Let's discuss the different approaches in research. We have the inductive approach and the deductive approach. When tag inductive approach, it starts with observations or data, then build up to a theory. So gikan sa specific up to sa general. So it fits when we conduct a qualitative research through interviews, case studies, or observation. It also fits under research methods and analysis style because it's about how you interpret data. So let's say, for example, mag-interview ka sa mga biktima sa cybercrime, and then you notice patterns. Then after that, you build or form a theory about how online frauds, or let's say kaning mga illicit activities sa social media, can easily affect young adults. Here, in deductive approach, it starts with a theory or hypothesis, then test it with data. So gikan siya sa general up to specific. So we often use it in quantitative research such as surveys, experiments, or statistics. So in the deductive approach, we begin with the theory. So the theory can be why poverty increases theft. Then we collect crime and income data to test kung ang theory ba nato is tinuod. So to put it simply, ang kaning deductive approach, or no, let's say inductive approach, first you observe and then you discover rules from examples. So when we say inductive, so of course it starts from the specific up to the general. And when we say deductive, it starts from the general up to the specific.